fine folks. This your friendly neighborhood old soldier coming at you again today from a fairly warm and balmy Robeson County morning. If you're watching the video I just posted, that was from yesterday. Woke up this morning and realized I hadn't posted it, so you get another one later today if I remember to post at the time. Anybody wants to know what that's called? It's called CRS. For you older folks, y'all probably know what CRS is. For you young folks, that stands for can't remember squat, stuff, or another four-letter word. So, blame it on the mileage. But anyways, for you, Brother Kyle, I hope this finds everybody on this fine Friday morning doing well. Bright side is next week our temperatures are supposed to go and start actually having some fall-like weather. I think we're in for an early fall here in the Carolinas. Could be wrong. Won't be the first time. Probably won't be the last. Watching the news this morning, the first full week of traditional school supposedly ended in North Carolina today. And one of the things that ABC 11 was talking about is how a lot of the teachers in Durham didn't get their full paycheck. And some of them got paid at the substitute teacher rate. And some of them are upset because they get the full rate because they ain't got their license yet or some junk. I feel their pain. I get where, if you're told one thing and you get your first paycheck and it's something totally different. Well, what's this stem from? It stems from last year, at the end of the school year, when the teachers were walking out, going on strike per se. Technically, in North Carolina, teachers can't strike, but they can walk out and take vacation days. That's what they did several times last year. The other part was a couple of Wake County schools having air conditioning issues, HVAC issues in the whole school. One school had a bomb threat called in, and several students suffered some minor to moderate heat injuries because they had to go outside. And somebody probably knew that would happen, so let's have some fun and call in a fake bomb threat. So we can make these people even more miserable. But, and I'm sitting there saying to myself, Wake County, that's probably one of the richest counties in North Carolina. That's where all the communists in North Carolina seem to convene. Taking everybody else's tax money and using it for stupid stuff. And so my whole lady, get out of the middle of the road and I wouldn't have to slow down around your big ass. Not safe for working children. But long story short, they're having some issues up Durham and Wake County already early in the school year. And they're probably going to have even more. Because the county commission, as they were saying yesterday, don't know where they're going to get the money from to fix the air conditioning. Probably what they're trying to do is put a Band-Aid over a gushing arterial wound. Thinking a Band-Aid's going to, hold it until they can get the proper solution instead of just, let's cut some unnecessary activities and take that money and apply it to the problem and get it fixed. Now, I wouldn't start to even begin to tell you what I think unnecessary activities are at the high school level. For certain. See, when I was a kid in high school, the county, the city, municipality, they put so much money to athletics, and then they had to go around door to door with their booster club to get more money for certain things. And I used to think, oh yeah, cool, sports school. My dad set me aside one day. He said, son, I pay taxes that go to that school. He said, if the school wants that band to go to Hawaii, that school needs to go to the county school board and say, give me some of that tax money to help pay for these kids to go to Hawaii. I thought about that. At first I was like, Dad, that's kind of... Dad's like, no, son, it's public school. And the government mandates our children go to school. So we obey the law and we send our kids to school. Now he said, now if I sent you and your brother to private school, it'd be a different story because we're paying to send you there. And we take on the obligation and the burden. But because this is public school and they say you've got to go, and I pay my taxes, and that was the other thing my dad was never fond of, was paying those school fees. You know, he asked the principal one time, if I'm not mistaken, you know, why am I paying school fees in this public school? Why do I need to pay fees for certain things? And then y'all come back and tell my son that they got to buy this workbook and they got to buy that workbook. The fee says here, books. That doesn't cover workbooks? No, Mr. Linebarger, it doesn't. Okay. What does it cover? Well, various things. Well, that doesn't answer the question. My point being is, public schools get a lot of funding. Now, how, who, and why it proves what spending, I don't know. And it's different throughout the entire country. And I'm not saying Durham and Wake County waste their money. I wouldn't be surprised. Some of the stupid stuff that area of North Carolina spends money on anyway, public money on. But I do feel for those teachers that were told, hey, we're going to bring you in, we got your pay fixed, come in, get your paycheck first week, it's short. And according to, I don't know the gal's name on ABC 11 was covering the story today. She always looks angry when she reports the news. But several hundreds of dollars short. Okay, several hundreds of dollars short. At the end of the day, if those teachers can't make the money that they desire to make, I say desire because, you know, that's really all it amounts to at this point in time. They're not making that. Either change career fields or move to another district where the pay is better. And I would dare say there's other districts in desperate need of teachers that might meet their salary requirements. I don't know. You know, there's a whole host of things that also affects all that too. Durham, Wake County is not a cheap place to live in North Carolina. Okay? It's just not. You get up around that triangle region of Raleigh, Durham, Chapel Hill, and folks, I'm telling you, property and houses and apartments ain't cheap. It costs to live up there. All right. Now, in the greater scheme of things in the country, it's cheaper in some other places like Chicago, New York, Philadelphia, Los Angeles, Atlanta. But still. So, okay, but anyway, like I said, I kind of feel for the teachers being told they're going to get paid one thing and then they didn't get paid what they were supposed to. But at the end of the day, they got a couple of choices. They can sit there and listen to the so-called promises that it's going to get fixed, or they can walk off the job and go find work elsewhere. Just tell you what I think. Give you a chance, put in the comments below what it's like around where you live at. the issues your teachers are having, what you think about public schools and public school funding. Because I am a firm believer that if I pay taxes into a school system, why should I have to pay registration fees? Why should my children have to pay additional for workbooks? And I don't know what the heck they got to pay for now. All my kids are grown and out of school. Okay. I used to question the same thing until we put our children in private school, because the state of public schools in this part of North Carolina plain out sucked. And that was in Hope County, North Carolina. Broke Oak. If somebody from Hope County is watching this and don't like what I'm saying, well, then kiss my fourth point of contact. And if anybody doesn't know what a fourth point of contact is, ask an American paratrooper. They'll be glad to tell you. They had a resource officer at the middle school that was, Barney Fife was more qualified as a law enforcement officer than this guy. Just call it the way it is. My son got jumped, I got a hold of Mr. Lineberger, and we gave a stern talking to. Really? Oh, okay. Yeah. No suspension, no called meeting with the parents, none of that. I had to deploy shortly after that incident, so I didn't get to press charges like I wanted to. My wife was too scared to. When I deployed, we pulled my son out and put him in private Christian school. And there I accepted pretty much most everything I had to pay for, because it's a private school. And honestly, I'm all about free school lunches. If you're paying your school registration fees, to me that should go towards your children's lunch account. Now, free breakfast, I'm a little mixed on that, but a lunch meal for certain. And the reason I say it, when I growing up, my mom and my dad worked full time. Mom didn't feel like Dad got up and made breakfast before he went to work. I get it. There's some people that supposedly can't afford to feed their families. I don't know, with all the Give Me programs out there. I've seen people go in the stores here with their SNAP card, I think they call it, walk out, a buggy full of groceries. I just find it hard to believe for some people to say that they can't feed their kids in the morning, but I digress. Either way it goes, if a kid shows up to school hungry, that's another thing the school needs to set a resource aside for, instead of some of the stuff they're spending their money on, I guess. And I'll be quite honest, I really don't know what all most of the schools are spending their money on now. Been in a few, and I see some of the Art Deco, I guess is the word. I thought, well, if they paid over $10 for it, they got ripped off. Anyway, y'all tell me what y'all think below. I've got no faith in the public education system anymore whatsoever. If I had kids today going to school, we'd be homeschooling every last one of them and find a good homeschool network to put them in. I'd be damned if I'm putting my kids in public schools here, really anywhere else in the country. That's the other thing. I'm not going to have my children exposed to the idea that men can be women and women can be men. And if that offends anybody watching this video, y'all can kiss my fourth point of contact. I really don't give a damn. I'm sick of it being pushed on these kids in school. That's the other thing I'm fed up with public school. People pushing this stuff in there. Okay. Pushing this agenda. And the sad part is you got these parents that say one thing, but then they turn around and go right along with it. you know. And then there's the schools that the parents are protesting it, but the damn school board's still doing what the hell they want to do. Last time I checked, we're a government of the people, by the people, for the people. We are a representative republic throughout the entire 50 states. We the people govern, not the government governing us. What I mean by that is the people we elect are to enact laws for the greater good of the people, but at the same token, when the people go to their representatives and say, hey, enough's enough, we're tired of this BS, something should be done. And you take that to these parents going to school boards, what they ought to do is segregate. If you want your kids to be Fruit Looping, they're going to go to this school. Maybe that's what they should do. Separate the Fruit Loopians from the regulars. And if that bothers anybody, kiss my ass. I don't care. If I'm stepping on toes, toes shall just be stepped on. But anyway, I have rambled on enough on this Friday. Y'all stay safe out there. Have a great weekend. Until I get another one out, it's your friendly neighborhood old soldier. See ya.